You know, for decades, you could get by in Oregon without an air conditioner. But when I got here 32 years ago, it seemed like we had maybe 1-2 hot nights in a summer, and that was it. No big deal. But now that stretch lasts a week, and there can be more than one stretch, which means air conditioning, air cooling is less of a nicety and more of a necessity. That was never more clear than after last year's killer heat dome. So mayors like Beaverton's Lacey Beatty took action and got a new law passed, a state law. It's a good start, but as we just heard, it won't help everyone. I talked with the mayor about that law today.
I think it's really important for people to know the work it took to get here, which was first, people speaking out and letting us know it's a problem. Second, you now have protection in Oregon during a heat emergency to be able to install portable air conditioning units. That's a huge, meaningful first step towards action. And I want people to know that you have the right to install it as long as it doesn't create a life, limb, or safety issue for those around you.
Well, that sounds great, except for the fine print. Turns out landlords got a lot of exceptions put into that law. So many that it really makes me wonder if anyone could actually install a portable air conditioner that sits in a window right now. Take a look for yourself. We're talking about Enrolled Senate Bill 1536. Enrolled means it's the one that got passed and got signed into law. Under Section 2, which you may or may not be able to see, it reads, a landlord may not prohibit or restrict a tenant from installing or using a portable cooling device of the tenant's choosing, okay, that's good so far, unless, well, here comes the exception, that you cannot do it if it violates building codes or state or federal law, which is what we're hearing is happening in Newburgh. And there's more. We'll jump to subsection A, letter C, unless installing that unit would damage the premises or render the premises uninhabitable. So don't destroy your apartment by putting an air conditioner in the window. Then, even more, under subsection B, it talks about installing the air conditioner specifically in the window. Letter C prohibits doing that if the device requires the use of brackets or other hardware that would damage or void the warranty of the window or frame, puncture the envelope of the building, or otherwise cause significant damage. Now, I don't know if you've ever installed a window air conditioner. I have. It's nearly impossible without some screws to hold that accordion thing in place, the thing that slides out to fill the rest of the window. Or if it's a big unit, a bracket that sits on the outside of the home to hold the dang thing up. You saw a lot of those in the Newburgh story there. With these restrictions, it seems to me that the only sort of air conditioner you could be able to put in is one of those rolling floor units that vent the hot air out the window. And when I checked at Home Depot this afternoon on their site, the lowest cost units were at least $100 more than the lowest priced window units. Mayor Beatty from Beaverton says if you want to install a window unit, it is best to start by talking with your landlord.
Maybe starting with your landlord of understanding that Senate Bill 1536 was passed and having a meaningful dialogue on what that means, I think is the right first step to go. Sometimes when these rules go into effect, not everyone is aware of them right away. So starting with the option of just talking to them about this and what it means for your apartment complex.
And that brings us to power, electricity. The power companies in the greater Portland area are watching the weather closely for two reasons right now. First, they do want to make sure that we have enough electricity to keep your air conditioner running, and good news, they tell us they do. And if you're a PGE customer, you might have volunteered to take part in the peak time rebate, which means you're letting your home get just a little bit warmer than normal this afternoon. It can save actually a decent amount of power when thousands of customers all do it at the same time. The highest energy demand on the system is typically from 4 p.m. through 8 p.m. when we're all at home and cranking up the AC. The second reason they're watching the weather is to see if conditions will get bad enough that they need to turn off some power lines to stop them from creating fires if things like trees fall on them during a windstorm, for example. Last month, we met a new fire weather forecaster at Pacific Power who's building a huge database to track weather and historic fire patterns to get a better handle on where trouble might happen. PGE also has a weather planning team. Shutting off the power is called a Public Safety Power Shutoff, or PSPS. A spokeswoman today told us everything is looking good so far.
We are monitoring conditions. We're watching the weather as we always do during fire season. And at this point, things look good. No plans for a PSPS at this point.
That's good news. By the way, PGE says you can save on average about $13 a month if you let the temperature at your home climb from 70 to 76 degrees. That's why I bought an air conditioner. Not a full house one, but one of those portable deals, and it is helping. So $13 a month does not seem worth it to me, but maybe that does work for you. By the way, this is one of those big topics that we do want to hear from you about. Are you taking part in that peak time rebate that PG&E is running right now? How's it going? How hot is it getting in your place? And if you're a senior living in a publicly supported high-rise, I really want to hear from you. Are you staying cool? Is the air conditioning in your unit working? Is there air conditioning at all? Are they taking care of you? Send me an email, let me know. Our address is thestory@kgw.com, or call and leave a voicemail, 503-226-5090. I look forward to hearing from you.